multi-table insert, which means we are inserting from one table to multiple tables. My source table will be one, so I'll have one source table, and suppose I have multiple target table, target 1, target 2, target 3. I have 3 different table, and on this 3 table I'm writing information or records from this table. So this is the definition or a plain architecture which we're going to work. Now I need one table where I'll be having data present. I'll create 3 separate tables based on some condition, and then I'll run a query for this multi-table insert. Let's go to Hive Cell and do this practical. So tables. So already we have TXN records. This is the table. Let's say we'll need some top 10 records. Select a star from TXN records, limit 10. So this will give me top 10 records, and if I want to see how many columns are there, we can use desk and table name TXN records. So this many columns are there. Now from this table I will create 3 separate tables which are having this column separately, and will use some condition to extract to store data or insert data from source table. Now my first table definition is create table table 1. Here I will need TXN number, which is integer, and second column is my amount, which is double. So maybe a specific amount I want to store in this table. Row format delimited, fields terminated by table 1 is created. Table 2, cust number is also integer, and I will store amount along with, say, a category. So I'm defining category. So specific category and amount I want to store here. Okay. Then row format delimited, fields terminated by, all these are text delimited by default, comma separation. So I'm giving comma here. Now my third statement for table 3. Here I want to store customer number along with city. Only one specific city. There, how many customer belong to that city? I want to see that. So there's 2 column, then row format delimited, fields terminated by, comma, and enter. So all 3 tables. Quickly we'll run a query, show tables, and we can see this information. Table 1, table 2, table 3. Now I want to get from this TXN records to table 1, table 2, table 3. So if I put in this flow, my source table is a TXN records. Let me change the color. This is a TXN records, and target 1, target 2, target 3. Here I have 3 tables, which is table 1, table 2, and table 3. So I don't want to store the exact record. Okay, I will put some query there. Now First I need data, so again I will run this query. Select star from table name, limit 10 from the source table. And in my first table, how many columns are there? TXN and amount. So from TXN records, this is my source table. I'll give alias a insert overwrite table1 select a dot txn number. So I need all the txn along with amount column, where a dot amount is less than 100.00 Okay, this is my first query. Similarly, second query, insert override table2. I'm just using upper key to get my previous statement. My second table definition is integer, double, and string. So I need in sorry, what was the column name? Customer number, then amount, and third is the category. Now here I want to store a category which are only category which are only, let me see which column is a category column here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth value should be category. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This should be the category. Exercise and fitness. Let's say I want to store only for gymnastic. So I'll give gymnastics. This is my second query. You can check the spelling, everything is right. Enter. Then third query on third table. In third table, we have customer number and city. A dot city, where A dot city is equal to city is a third last column, which means I want to store only for let's say Nashville. Nashville. Once this is done, semicolon, enter. After this operation, we'll validate our record. We should be having result only based on this condition. So multi-table insert is good for sampling. Like you want to separate out your data. Suppose you have a huge table and data you are not able to check properly there. So you can insert records from there into small table and do your sampling theorem. We'll wait for it. Once the job is done, we'll see the output. You can even read the acknowledgement also. Looks like in last table, we did not get any information. Why? We'll validate. So select a star from table 1, limit 10. Here I think I gave condition. I need only amount which are less than 100. So yeah, we can see here all the records. These are less than 100. In fact, we can check for all rows. So I think the total number of rows is this for table number 1, 24,547. If you select count star, you will see that result. If you want to validate, you can run this operation. I'm doing this count star from table 1. And whenever we do any aggregation, then reducer number will be 1 based on the data set. You know how task they are going to submit based on the data set or block size of HDFS, which we know 128 MB is by default size. And based on that, they create a task. If it is a MapReduce execution engine, if it is a TEZ or a Spark uh, execution engine, their concept is different. They follow the DAG algorithm. So this is the number of rows total, and I can validate with this. Now second table query, select a star from table 2, limit 10. Here we are seeing all the result only which are gymnastic, because that was the query. We put where query only for this result. And I feel some problem is there in the table 3. Well, we don't have any result in table 3. Why? Can we go again back to our query and see a.set is equal to, so maybe we do not have any result, okay, for NAS value which we are checking for customer number. And can I, before running this, can I validate why the data is not coming here? So I'll put this query, select a star, or maybe select city, comma, customer number. I think that was the third table query, customer number and city. City, customer number from TXN records, where city is equal to, I think I gave this result. So looks like there is no such result. That's why we're not getting any output. Can I check this for other city? Customer number, but customer number is there. It's not giving us. Anyway, let me try with the city, Long Beach. If there is a result, I will try again to insert this. City, Long Beach. Many results are there, okay? And again, I will try to insert this, insert into table, or insert overwrite table, table 3, select a dot cust number, a dot city from table. Now here I need to write from TXN records, which is A, where a dot city is equal to Long Beach. Enter. We'll again wait for 1 minute to see the output. MapReduce is actually a slow execution engine. We already know that. Why this is taking time to execute our query, because this is a disk computation. And we have seen the same operation in TZ also in our previous session, that how TZ is working and why they're fast. So just from here, I can in fact validate that we have some result which are 482, and this was the result when I submit my query. Select star from table name where city is equal to Long Beach. Okay. Still you want to validate, select a star from table 3, limit 10. We can see this result. So this is how multi-table insert works. Good for if I want to do sampling. That's what I said. If I have a bigger table and I want to store that table in bits and pieces in multiple tables, then I can use this concept. After multi-table insert, so far we have seen all the operation for uh, primitive data type or a standard data type. Now we'll start with the complex data type. So in complex data type, we have three different data types. First, array. And we know this, what is array, right? A definition of array, if I write, this is a collection of similar element. It's a collection of similar element. Then second is map. It works with the key value concept. It's a pair of key and value. We'll see one by one with real-time example how this can be implemented in Hive. Third is a struct. Struct is for a structure. So if I have collection of multiple element, not similar, okay? Collection of different element or different data types like a string, integer, float, right? So those I'm calling as a different element. When I take example, you'll understand what is a struct. So these are three different data type: array, map, and struct. Now, if I take example of array, okay, so let me create one data set for first this array, and then we'll try to load that in our Hive table. So maybe I'm receiving data from a weather station. This is actually, you can download it from NCDC. NCDC is a National Climate Data Center. National Climate Data Center. They provides one FTP, and you can go to that FTP and get this file downloaded. FTP is, by the way, file transfer protocol with the port number 21. So link is already there. You just need to type this in Google, FTP weather download. You can download the file. I have already downloaded some of the information which I can use it, but let me create some rows here manually. So I have weather data received, and weather data is as follows. I have city related to Delhi. Second city is, let's say, Pune. Now I have stored data from, so say this is from any date. Let's say this data is from 12th May 2020. This is the date, okay? And if I write information, or maybe if I create information related to weather, so on 12th May, I have extracted data from this NCDC site using FTP server, and I have data from morning 6 a.m. to say 10 a.m. So I have 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., which means total 5 hours data. That's what's the weather, okay, in these two cities. So if you can handle for two cities, you can handle definitely for multiple cities also. Delhi, Pune, and suppose can I handle the data also? Okay, so let me take a data also, and strictly here your date follows one signature, which is YYMMDD. So your data should be in this format. Remember, I can in fact make a note. Let me write a note here. Whenever you define date in your Hive table, okay, so that date must be following this format only: YYMMDD. If your format is not this, then Hive will consider that data as null. It will not give you issue while loading it, because Hive is working with the schema on read. They do not check the schema while loading it. Okay. So I have the Delhi and Pune, and before that, I have the date also. So as I said, this date is 12th May 2020. Can I write this as 2020, 05, and 12? And here for this same date 2020/05.2. Okay, you can have just for one variation in the data set. I will create for next date, which is 13th May, let's say, and this is for again a city called Delhi. Now from 12th to 13th, 2 date result you have, and 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Can I write some temperature here? So temperature is as follows: 13.0. I'm just taking some random data. 17.1, 18.3, 19.5, 22.8, 14.1, 15.6, 17.7, 18.3, and 20.1. On 30th May observation is this: 13.5, 16.9, 17.2, 18.3, and 25.7. Now, one thing to remember whenever you are uh, receiving or generating a data, always try to match the number of collection as a number of indexes. If you're working with a array, then I can refer this data as indexes, right? This is my index number 0. This is my index number 1. This is my index number 2, 3, and 4. Because if you are not matching the total number of element, maybe you're saying in Delhi you have 5 result from 6 to 10. For Pune you have from 6 to 8, only this result. Then for Delhi again next day you have 6 to 2 p.m. So if you're doing indexing and running some query, and that data is not present in the city, so some city will give you data, some city will give you null data. That's why I try to match this number of element in all the row. As in here I have 5 individual records available for all the rows, right? So I'll make a change on this query. I'll store only 4 result in one row, and then you will see if I'm running a query what it returns me. So it returns me null, by the way. This is 0th index, first index, second index, third index, fourth index. And this is what I'm calling as a collection. So this is my one column. This is my column now, number 1. I'll keep this as a current date. This is my city. And this is my temperature. Now, all this temperature are collections. That's what I'm saying. Array is a collection of similar element. Okay. All the data are double types after decimal, and this is a one field, just entire record. This entire result is a one column. Okay, this whole row, this complete record will go to one column only. It's not individual column separated by comma. Now, one more thing to remember: do not give the same delimiter for this result and your field separation, because if you give their comma also and their comma also, your data will store as null maybe. Okay, your hive will confuse that you're talking about collection result or you're talking about fields. So always try to give a different delimiter for column separation and their result separation within the collection items. Now let's create this data first in terminal. And this is my result, cat weather.txt. Our date is 2020/0513. City name, then temperature 13, 14.5, 16.8, 19.0, 22.8. Second 2020/05/113, and some sample result again here: 15.0, 16.7, 17.2, 18.9, and 23.6. For different date, but city is same, just to have a variation. Delhi, this is 14.0, 17.8, 18.0, 19.9, and 24.7. Control D. Now I'll create a structure for this table, and the structure is, so let me create one database for complex data. I'll keep all that complex information in one database, which is create database complex. Use complex and create table. Create table. Table name is weather, and column name is C date. Don't use date. Excuse me. Don't use uh, date for column name, because date is a reserved keyword here. Okay. So data type you can give as date. Then second is my city, which is a string, and third is my temperature. And temperature is type of array. Inside this array, what type of data we are having? This is all double types of data, right? So can I write it here double as a data type? Inter row format delimited, fields dominated by. What is a field termination? I think I've given a tab there. Let me just verify it again. So this is the tab in my data set. And since this is tab, I will give hyphen t, slash t, then collection items dominated by comma. Once the table is created, then load record here. Load data local in path. This is like a bulk loading, right? If you remember. And this directory location is home cloudera weather.txt into table name, which is weather. Looks like location is different. Let me see. Home cloudera. Okay, and the spelling is wrong for weather. That should work. Number file total size. Can we run a query? Select a star from table name, which is weather. So you can see the date, okay, which are following YYMMDD. Unlike RDBMS, because in RDBMS I can map my result like this. If it is RDBMS, I can say DD MM YY. I can use these combinations, right? I can use this combination. Maybe I can use this combination, right? Maybe I can use this combination. But here, strictly you have to follow. This combination is there in RDBMS. Strictly in our case, we are having YY MMDD. This is for hive pattern. Okay. Now this is for date data type. If you have data type as date. Now say you want to store the time also, then you can have a timestamp. So if you have a timestamp, your this format will be YY MM DD and HHMMSS, hours, minute, and second. This is the timestamp by default format. So if you have any data related to timestamp, you can handle like this. Okay. Only data you need to see, and based on that data, you can define the data type. Well, date and timestamp is not a complex data type. They're the primitive. They're the standard data type. Now, can I run some query? Let's say I want to see temperature at morning 8 a.m. and that too only for Delhi and that too only for this date. So how can I run a query? My task is this: check the result, for city is equal to Delhi and date is equal to 202005 and 14, and check the result. But what result? This result I want only for morning 8 a.m. Then how can I handle this thing? So we know in array we do indexing. Now this is my index number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 as discussed in this file. Since I'm talking about 8 a.m., so this data is from morning 6 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and 10 a.m. Right? I can get this data from 8 a.m., which is my second index. So let's run a query. Select star. Okay, select unit date. So let's say date. I think this was current date. Current date. I need city and I need temperature. From table name, which is weather, where city, so city TMP, and I'll write the index here. Since I'm not looking for all the result, I'll say index number 2, where city is equal to Delhi. Well, this gives me both the results. So now I can give a condition, not condition on city, condition on date. I'll give c underscore date when the date is 2020, 05, and 14. So I get that individual record. This is how you can handle this. Select count star and all RDBMS query will work here. All relational database query. Okay, so you can check any result. You can check any specific result here. Now, suppose while storing this data, I'll open this file and make some changes. In second day, which is 14th May, I've only stored data from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., which means just 4 data. I'll store this and reload this file. Now, when reload this file, I will have to write over right here, override into table name, enter. And now run the same query, select star from table name. We have just 4 results stored here. So previous data is deleted because you have written over right, okay, and it has just kept the new records which we have stored in this file weather.txt after making a change. Now, if I'm looking for select city, comma, temperature, and looking for index number 4 from table name weather, where I'll not give where condition, I'll just skip this. Now, why you're getting null for Delhi? Because this result is from 6 to 9. The 10 a.m. result is missing here. That's why Hive is internally taking it as null. By default, the type is null if it is not matching anything or the result is not present. So this is about our array thing. Now, second data type is map, and map is one of the fast searching concept of hash functions. Map works with key value concept. So map is having key and value. Now here in this key value, I will create some sample data. So let's say I have received the data from WHO for COVID-19, and this data talks about uh, three different uh, three different country and their total number of active cases. Okay, so this data I'm receiving from WHO site, World Health Organization, which says what is the total count in India, then what is the total count in USA, and what is the total count in another city. I'll take let's say Austria. Now how this key value can work here. So I will store this data based on the month wise. Okay, so I'm saying on month 2020. Uh, can I store this in date wise also? So let me see how can I handle this date wise. This is my date first 2020. I know how date format is there in Hive. So 20200513 and on this date we have total number of active cases, say 46,000. This is in K, okay, 46,000. Then on 20200514 we have this number decreasing from 46 to 42. I have just this two date, okay. Similarly for US 20200513, the total number of active cases is 122,000. 20200514 is 109,000. Austria is same date 202005, then 13. This is total 13,000, let's say, and 20200514. This is 20,000. Now this is my data. This talks about country, and second result, this is date wise information. So I have just given sample for 2 days. Likewise you can create for 100 days also. Okay, now can I read this data in a key value form? So this is my key, this is my value, this is my key, this is my value. So can I say this is k1 v1 k2 v2, key value, right? And how can I access this? First of all, how can I load this? This looks complex to me because there are so many delimiter. There are delimiter between this first field and this entire field. This is one single field. So there is a delimiter between column number 1, column number 2. Then there is a delimiter between your key and value. Then there is a delimiter between first key value and second key value, which is comma. So how can we handle this? First we'll create a table. Create table, and table name will give us COVID. Country name, which is a string. Second is active cases. So can I write it as active cases? And this is what type of data? This is map data. And map is stored in which format? This is in date, comma. What is the second? Is integer. Can I write like this? Date and integer. Right? You see the data, and based on this data, you map it. Then row format delimited. We're creating a standard Hive table. fields terminated by, I'll separate this with tab, then collection items terminated by, what is the collection item termination? This is comma, right? This comma, this is comma, this is comma. So every key value is separated by comma. Here I will write comma. And one more new line will come here which says map keys terminated by. So your map keys are terminated by this column. That's why I'm giving here this column. Now once the table is created, we'll create our sample data for covid19.txt. This is hot topics. I thought to bring this data set. Then country India, tab date 2020-0513, total 46. Then another date 2020-0514. This is 42. Then second country USA 2020-0513. This is 122K. 2020-0514. This is 109K. And one more city will country will take Austria 2020. Same date, by the way, for all three countries. This is 13,000. And this is 10,000. Enter, Control D. Now, again, we'll load that file in this table. Load data, local, in path, home, Cloudera, covid19.txt, into table name. And what's my table name? It's COVID. Select star from table name and we'll verify the result. So this is how my record are stored. And if I want to see their structure, I can type so create table name. You can see collection delimiter is comma, field delimiter is tab, and map delimiter is column. The question is, so result is this. Now how can I check only for one country? So we can give select star from table name where country is equal to IND. This will only bring me data related to India. Can I check for a specific date for India only? So yes, I can do that. I will give my field name, which is active underscore cases. And how do we handle any map based on the key? So if I type the key, I'll get the value. Suppose I'm looking for this date. So I'll write this here 2020-0513. Some results mistake we have. Let me only write this without single quote. I think we'll have to write within double quote. Still, this is giving me error. Maybe due to this bracket. So sometimes this syntax are tedious to remember. Field where country, invalid function, active cases. Okay, that should work actually. Why? How do we handle that in that case? Since this is a date type, Already I've tried with this. It's giving me for 2 boot the date. Let me try one more thing. 2020-0513. So looks like the expression I need to check, how to check for the key in this Hive table. I'll see this later and then probably I'll tell you how we can check in the key side. Okay. But if it is other than date, it works. Like if it is integer, then I can use this normal bracket and handle my data set. Just like key, I need to pass it here, and based on that key, it will get me the output. Maybe other format Hive is using, that's why this is throwing exception. We'll check this later. After map, third query is for struct. So third type is struct. Now struct, I can say just opposing the definition of array. Array says collection of similar element. Struct says collection of different element. So collection of different element. So what do I mean by this collection of different elements? Suppose I have a data related to some uh, vehicle. Okay, this is, let's say, a four-wheeler. Now in this four-wheeler, my data is as follows. I have the name, then I have their color, then I have their gear, then I have their total CC 1800.00. Then I have second type, their color, their number of gear, and their type, CC type. So I'm creating this data set just to mix our data type. Now, if you check the first column, this is black and gray. This is the color and string types of data. 6 and 8, this is integer, and this is my double data. Can I write this information in my Hive table and put some query on this? This is again one type of complex data. This is my field 1, and this entire value is field 2. So they all comes under collection. Okay, because we're having result in collection. If you see this one, this is a collection. This is the collection of key and value, date with cases, and this is the collection of our temperature. Now we'll create the same data set first in our terminal. Vehicle.txt, name, color, gear, and CC. Then name, color, gear, and CC. Some sample data. Okay. So these are the collection of different element or mixed element, I would say. I'll create a table for this. So always DDL, you'll have to create it here. DDL is important. Create table vehicle. And for vehicle, we have first car type. So I'll say C type is a string. Second is their features, which is feet. And this is type struct. Within this, we have color, which is a string. Then gear is integer, and CC is double. Right? Can match with this data set. Now here I need to define my column name separately. Okay. In array, why I did not define this? Because in array I had a similar collection. Everything was double. Here, not all the values are double. All are different. That's why I'll have to write the uh, data type, column name also along with the data type. Once you have given this, then row format delimited, fields terminated by, and I guess I gave this as tab again, collection items terminated by, this is comma. Table is created, then reload this data again. So loading part is same for all array, map, and struct, all complex type. Load data local in path. What's my location? Home, Cloudera, and file name is vehicle.txt into table name, and that table name is vehicle. Submit. Select the star from vehicle. We can see this result. Okay. We can, okay, I think this is taking some other file. Let me go and see pwd. Actually, the file name was the vehcile.txt. Maybe this is taking some other file. Okay, I must be having this file present. That's why this is taking this file. And if I'll show you that get vehicle.txt. So this is what it is taking currently. I was looking for this. Since the file name is different, can I change, or let me take the same file. Okay, I'll reload it again. Just use overwrite into table name, and I'll change the file name. Enter. Select a star from vehicle. Now this is taking the right data which I was creating. Now, how can you access any column here? So this is one column, collection column. Now suppose I want to see for CC 18.00. So query is select star. Okay, and I'm saying for CC 18.00, right? So let me say p.cc from table name where condition, and what's the condition? My first column name is C type is equal to BMW. So this will give me only the result which are related to BMW. In fact, I can say here star a feed CC, and maybe I can say C type also. It will give me both. So this is how we can handle. In array we do indexing. In map we access based on the key, and in struct we check using dot, column name in dot. Suppose you're looking for gear, similar thing. You can have gear here. Okay. So these are the simple data, 2 rows, 5 rows, 4 rows. But if I know the basic concept in logic and the syntax, I can write a number of queries like this. This is your complex type. Now, one more thing. Whatever query I'm running so far, everything is on Hive cell. Suppose I don't want to go to Hive cell. I want to create a script. I want to use a smart approach or maybe automation, right? Because if my business want me to create 100 tables every day, I cannot go to Hive cell every day and start creating one by one. What I will do instead, I'll create a script. So Hive supports the concept of scripting. Okay, I can say this is a scripting concept, and to work with the scripting, I should have extension of file HQL. This HQL stands for Hive Query Language. HQL is a Hive query language. And let's go and create some script. Now, whatever query is running in this Hive cell, I'll create a file vi hive underscore day dot hive underscore day dot HQL. Enter. And here I'll write my script. Okay, so suppose I want to create one database. Create database db new db. That's my database name. Then use that database. Use new underscore db. And I'll create a table. Create table. Can I write this information just to save my time? Okay. Can I write the same DDL which I'm running here? So let me go back and see this table definitions. I think I started from array, so I will use this statement one by one. Copy, paste here, enter, second statement, third statement, fourth statement, then I load a record. So this is the load query. Enter, second table definition. Second table was this. Enter. Copy. Paste. File name. So we have loaded, we have created table first and then we're loading it. Okay, you can run a select star from table name queries also here if you want to do that. All DDL, DRL, DML you can do in a script. I can do insert query also. Okay, if it is not a complex data type, because in complex data type you cannot do insert. Complex data type is one limitation it is having, that we can only load data, or if you want to do insert, then from one table to second table insert we can do, like inter-hive communication. Directly this script will not insert that, or maybe single insert also if you want to do in your table which are having complex data type, that will not take you insert query. Now I'll just try to make some standard queries. So here I'll say create table if not exist. Okay, so I'm saying if table is existing, do not create it. Create table if not exist, and we're loading the data. Once this script is done, then we'll go and verify our result. Save this script and call it. How to call any script? So HQL is a Hive query language extension, and I said whenever you are creating anything, you'll have to create using HQL. Any script of Hive will have this extension. And if I want to call this, then this is my query. Hive minus F Hive underscore day dot HQL. Enter this. Now, if you want to understand what is happening here, so this is doing the same thing. Earlier, we have seen you're running query in interface, then it goes to driver, compiler, metastore, then again compiler, then execution engine, then your reducer, uh, resource manager, then node manager, and they're doing following operations, right? But here I'm running from normal cell. I'm not going to Hive terminal. My idea is different here, okay? But logically, what query is running, what flow is going there, it's exactly same here also. But this is the automation approach. If I want to create a multiple tables, I can write all that information in a script and call. Can I go and verify this to myself? First, I will see where is the database new DB created. So yes, new DB is there. I can go to this new DB. So tables, select star from COVID. Result is there. Second table, method. This is also there. Now we know already how to check the query individually, right? Now, if I want to run this query from normal terminal, okay, let's say I don't want to go to Hive cell every time. My requirement is coming from here now. So I want to run this query from this cell directly. Then Hive has given another provision. We can call Hive hyphen E, and within this double quote, we can call that query. We just need to pass our database name, new underscore db dot. Then this will get me the same data which I'm getting here in this cell. 3 rows with this records. Let's see. This will take extra time because first it is connecting to Hive cell and then checking your metastore, and based on that it is giving information. Because metastore, we know this metastore is getting stored in your MySQL database. And these are my results. So no need to go to Hive cell. If you want to just run a few query, you can check it from normal terminal also. Now suppose I want to drop this database. Drop database weather. So when you try to drop the, weather is not a database, new DB. One thing I will tell you here. When you try to drop the database, if database is empty, then you can drop it. But if database is having some data, okay, we already know that this new DB is having COVID and weather as two data, two table. So we have some table present in this database. So drop database will not work. We'll have to add one more function here, cascade. Cascade is like cascading, and cascading concept came from, if I go to basic concept of cascading, from where it has inherited. So this cascading concept is coming from Hibernate. Hibernate is advanced framework of Java. So if I run this cascade, what this cascade will do, this will delete both the table along with database. So first, obviously, it will delete the table and then it will delete the database. Let's run this query and see the output. Your operation is successfully done. So can we run store databases? New DB is deleted. So this is how your uh, database cascade works if they're having multiple table inside. Next operation is scoop extraction. So scoop, one last option is also present here, and I would like to introduce that option. Scoop can directly extract data from RDBMS to HDFS and load into Hive. So Scoop has that provision. Let me write a note. It's a part of a Scoop well, but I thought to introduce you this in Hive because when we were learning Scoop, Hive was unknown to us. Now we know Hive and we know how Hive can manage information, whatever data is present in HDFS. So Scoop can extract data to HDFS and write write this data, or I would say load this data. Load would be the right word here. And load this data or this record to Hive table. Now, interesting factor is I'm not creating Hive table here. I'm directly extracting using a Scoop. So Scoop will create a schema for Hive table and load the data also. So it will keep the metadata from RDBMS and use the same metadata in Hive side and along with the data. So data will be present in HDFS and we know the metadata or meta store of Hive is present in MySQL. Now to check that query, I need to open my MySQL. So let's open MySQL. And some queries I will run. So databases, okay. There are many databases available. I'll use any one of it. Let me use ORG. We'll see how many table we have inside this ORG. Topo, AWS, cloud, result. Let me see what we have inside the cloud. Select the star from cloud. In cloud, we have few results stored: AWS, GCP, MA, AIX, and their cloud share. Okay. Now I want to store this data first in HDFS, and then I want to create using the same query. I want to create Hive table and want to point that HDFS record from Hive. So Scoop has that provision, and I'll be writing that query first here. Scoop. Let's talk about the option. So in Hive, in a Scoop PDF file, that option is already written, which I'll be sharing. And option wise, if I talk, Scoop options to import data in Hive directly. So there are many options. I'm using one of it. Other you can take as a part of assignment. So -hive import is there. This will directly get me that table. Okay, complete table along with the metadata. Then second is my hive underscore delims. This option is there. This is for delimiter if you want to change or if you want to check. Hive partition key is there. So all 5 options are there. If you are interested to know, let me go back to my file system and show you that. Before that, let's get this table. Okay. Before going to other options, let's get this table. So scoop import hyphen connect JDBC MySQL IP address database name, which is, what is the database name there? ORG. Username, password, table name. So what is the table name? This is cloud, I guess. That's a cloud. Then target directory, no need to define. You can say hive import number of mapper. Since I have limited data, less data available, less than 128 MB, that's I'm giving number of mapper 1. And we know the concept of number of mapper, how number of mapper works here. Password. Now internal log file, you can read what this query is generating. So they're first querying to RDBMS, which is MySQL, checking result is present or not, table is present or not. Then it is connecting to the source manager, because who submits any task to node manager? That is the master of our yarn or MapReduce 2, which is resource manager. So it will negotiate with node manager that this is the total data and this many CPU and uh, if required RAM I'm giving you. Then process it and write that intermediate output to disk. We'll wait for the output. So this is what is the stage number 1 done, record extracted to HDFS. Now Scoop will manage to create a table and load that directly information to this table, which is there in default.cloud. If I want to see this, I can select default database, so tables, select start from cloud, and you'll see the same information which are present in this, right? So this is amazing. Directly Scoop can do half of job for you, can extract the data to HDFS and directly point that from Hive schema, which is a TDL, and I can run a queries on this. And this is an internal table, by the way. This is not external table. This is going to user Hive warehouse. If you want to see that, you can run a so create table, table name, which is cloud. So I can see ID, C name, C share, right? This informations are there. And where it is going to user Hive warehouse, since this is an internal table. Now other queries of Hive, quickly we'll see. Scoop.pdf, and these are the all options. Hive home, Hive import, Hive overwrite, Hive drop, import delens, Hive partition key, partition value. You can check all these operations one by one and use it if required from Scoop to Hive.